Hi, it's Ruth from English Test Help and IELTS Help. Do you understand how the examiner marks your Task 1 report? If not, I'm here to help you understand this. Here are the banned descriptors for IELTS Writing Task 1. This can be so confusing and frustrating, especially when English is your second language. So, let me make it easier for you. How can you make the examiner happy? The examiner is using that description that you saw on the last page to score your writing or speaking. So you have to meet the criteria, that is, match the criteria in your own writing. And this will make the IELTS examiners very happy. Examiners use assessment criteria to award a band score for each of the 4 criteria. Do you know the 4? They are task achievement, coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, and grammatical range and accuracy. What does this mean? Let me show you. Task achievement means, did you write what the task asked you to write about? Did you choose main features? Did you compare and contrast relevant features? And then did you describe general followed by some detail? This is how you meet task achievement. So you read the task carefully and do not write anything else. Just stick with the topic and the task. You choose your main features carefully by looking at the most obvious or the largest differences, and the change from beginning to end, especially for line or bar graphs over time. Don't try to write everything, just describe and report the main, the relevant, important features. And then also you must write an overview paragraph, not an introduction, an overview, usually followed by general features, and then lastly followed by relevant detail. This is the most common way to get a good score in task achievement. The second criteria was coherence and cohesion. How can you do this? What is the examiner thinking? The examiner is looking for an overview. They're looking for each paragraph to be clearly signalled, maybe with a topic sentence. They're looking for really good linking words and expressions. And they are also looking for pronouns and relative pronouns to connect ideas. So, your first paragraph must be an overview that describes the purpose of the graph. Use topic signalers at the beginning of each paragraph. I'll show you how to do this in all the models. Use linking words between each sentence or idea. And using relative clauses is a great technique also. The third one deals with vocabulary or lexical resource. How do you do this? How can you make the examiner happy? You can paraphrase the words in the task. So, if there is a noun in the task, population, you can use the word people in your task, or the residents of the country. Do you change the word forms? Do you write with complex noun phrases? And this next question is pretty important. Do you understand the graph or the map to be able to describe the labels with the correct words? And finally, do you use the right spelling? So important. So my advice, do not copy the words in the task. You have to paraphrase. Change the word forms. This means, for example, from verb to noun or from noun to adjective, etc. You must learn how to write noun phrases and paraphrase the labels. Percent, percentage, proportion. Money, dollars, currency. Square meter, area, and etc. And please, don't be lazy. Practice spelling the most common words in Task 1. So we've dealt with task achievement, coherence, and vocabulary. What was the last one? Grammar. How do you make the examiner happy? You use a mix, a variety of simple and complex sentences. And you need to know which grammar features are common in which IELTS Task 1 type. So mix up your sentences, some short and long, some with one subject, some with two subjects, some with a conjunction. And learn which grammars are most common with which Task 1 type. For example, maps and location data uses lots of prepositional phrases. In the corner, to the north, on the other side of the river. Processes and flow charts use a lot of passive voice. Line graphs, if they are over time, you must get your verb tenses right. And pie charts use specific verbs like account for, consist of, made up by. So, as you watch the following videos, you will see lots of good models. Also with grammar, do you write with the correct English word order? Subject followed by verb, followed by a complement of some sort. Maybe a direct object or a preposition or adverbial. And do you get the simple things right? Punctuation is important. That S for plural and third person singular verbs, these are simple things you must get perfect. Try not to write in Chinglish or Spanish. Remember your basic English, subject, verb, object. And all those little things like capital letters, S's. All right, let me show you just two examples. Here is an example of a real IELTS student's text. Let's have a look at some mistakes and what the examiner is thinking. Can you see the problem here? The student missed the article a, the, and the. Which criteria would the student lose marks in? This would be grammar. If you miss the articles, your grammar score will go down. What about this one? This dip was, with a full stop here. This dip, this is a pronoun. So the student will lose marks for coherence and cohesion. Without this little phrase, the text lacks coherence. This one, though, over here is spelling. So that would be vocabulary or lexical resource. What about this one? Then it significantly, the student forgot the ly, decreased, the student forgot the ed. This is word form. So the student would lose marks in grammar and lexical resource. And the last example, here we go. Look at all those mistakes. Firstly, graze on. This is a phrasal verb. Female cows graze on grass. This is a vocabulary problem. The student would lose marks for lexical resource. Prevent it from becoming. The student would lose marks for grammar. And this one, the shop's shelf. It's impossible just to have one shelf in a shop. It must be plural. So the student has made the mistake of making it singular instead of plural, and she would lose marks for grammar and spelling or vocabulary. I hope you understand IELTS Task 1 marking better now.